Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome to the science of the end of time, especially the modern time. And the reason is, this is the time wherein we are living now, and there are lots of elements in this time. We know from the Quran and the Hadith, as I've already shared with you some videos in my previous videos, you find who the modern time Pharaoh is, who the modern time Haman is, and who the modern time Qarun is. And what is the relationship between these two iconic figures of human history. Today, inshallah, I will share with you a hadith. You come to know that we are clearly living in a modern time where the signs of the end of time are clearly emerging, appearing. The hadith narrated by Abu Hurairah and it's been compiled by Imam Bukhari and Muslim. So this is called Muttafaqun alayhi, agreed upon a hadith by both the top Sahih hadith kitab, Imam Bukhari and Muslim rahimahumullah. Abu Hurairah anhu عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لا تقوم الساعة حتى يمر الرجل بقبر الرجل فيقول, the hour will not be established until a man passes by a grave of somebody and says, Ya laytani makanahu. So the man passes by the qabr of another man in the end of time, pointing to the qabr. The man will say, if I were in that qabr, meaning the time that he passes, the time he goes through is the hardest time in human history, when in broad daylight the children are being butchered. In broad daylight people are deceiving each other. This is what's happening. And the most important thing that's happening amongst the Muslims, we the Muslims are the cruelest people in the world who are watching. Our people are being slaughtered. Our people are being butchered. And this is what's happening in Gaza. This is what's happening in Palestine. Back in 1881, when they started dwelling in Palestine, and they were just in 1890s, by the end of the 19th century, as I said, when Theodor Herzl began his Zionist design, Zionism. From then, they started. Ilan Pappé says in his A Brief History of Israel and Palestine, he says that they began with 6% minority, the Israelis, these Zionists, Jewish people. Now they came to the point where they are the majority, because they drove out almost all Palestinians from there. The final plan they've had is via Donald Trump. In January, he had a plan to build a riviera of the Middle East. It's a megacity plan. He tried to get Jordan and Egypt involved by bringing in the people from Gaza as refugees. By taking the people from Gaza as refugees, they turned down his plan. Fortunately, alhamdulillah. However, the crises are not over yet. So we are here to see in broad daylight, the mother has born a child, and when the bomb blasted her and she was blown off with the child split from her womb, from her uterus, leaving the mother and the child in a position they cannot be recognized. There are so many incidents happening in broad daylight on a daily basis. You cannot imagine by words. You cannot display the pictures and videos which are so graphic, so malicious, so disturbing. You cannot keep yourself in a position to feel like that you are a human. And the Arab leaders, MBS, and more Arab leaders, they are just onlookers. They are playing the role of viewers. Shame on you. And I feel like shame on ourselves. We feel like let the off crack and we get into the off. This is what's happening. In the end of time, Rasulullah said, "La taqumu as-sa'atu." Qiyamah will not take place. Hatta yamurru rajulu biqabri rajuli, until a man passes by the qabr of another person. Fayaqul, then he says, Ya laytani makanahu. Oh, I feel like this should be my place. Why am I living on earth? Why am I moving on earth? Walking on earth? When I can see that people are being slaughtered in broad daylight and no one is doing anything for these people. Having 2 billion of Muslims. Can you imagine that you are watching the most graphic, the most disturbing views that's going on your brothers and sisters and your children in Gaza? Allah give us the ability to understand, to open our eyes and to move forward and to do something for these people. Jazakumullah for watching. Inshallah, more videos coming as signs of the end of time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.